Welcome back to the Bristol Motor Speedway, but it's not your ordinary Bristol Motor Speedway. We welcome you to the biggest, most thickest Bristol Motor Speedway around. That's right, this track is Mecca wide and Mecca fast. So we're here in the fall of 2025 for an exhibition race, and here we will show you all the little fun facts that are going down in this race. So we have 25 laps, 40 drivers have entered, 36 chartered cars of course, and then 4 open teams are in this race. Caution laps do count. Single file restarts are going to be implemented into this race. The winner earns the ginormous honor of bragging rights, winning the thickest Bristol race. And then a couple of credits here. First off, all cars are credited by Hendrick 9 Fan on Stenod Racing. So if you see Hendrick 9 Fan on Stenod Racing, give him some love, give him a shout out, give him a big hug. And yeah, thank you Hendrick 9 Fan for painting all the cars that you will see here in this short. And then the other credit I want to give a big shout out to is VG03 out over on the grand wonderful Reddit, and he created this track in the first place. So yeah, without VG03 or Hendrick 9 Fan, this whole entire short would not have happened. We'll show you the starting lineup here. Ross Chastain is going to start on pole, and Kyle Busch will start alongside with. And then as you see the rest of the top 10 here, Gragson, Ty Dillon, Corey LaJoie, the quickest of the open drivers, Gilliland, Nemechek, Hocevar, and then Chris Buescher, who is starting 9th. He is 9th in point standings, and then Christopher Bell is the point leader. Then you see the next group here, including Shane Van Gisbergen, who has won 5 road courses. Could he get his first short track win here today? Austin Dillon, Josh Berry, Joey Logano, who currently sits 10th in points, will start 18th, and then Denny Hamlin, who currently sits in 7th, he will start 19th, and then Jimmy Johnson is going to start in 20th. As we keep moving our way down here, a couple of Hendrick drivers starting 23rd and 24th. Larson, who's currently sitting 4th in points, 172 back, and Alex Bowman is starting in 24th. Todd Gilliland down in 27th, and then Chase Elliott, who currently sits 3rd in points, 89 back, is starting in 30th. And then rounding out the field, the big surprise, Chase Briscoe, who sits 2nd in points, 55 back of Christopher Bell, is starting in 36th spot. And then you have a bunch of Toyotas back there, including Corey Heim, Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr., and Ty Gibbs. And it should be noted that Truex, Corey LaJoie, Corey Heim, and Jimmy Johnson are the 4 open drivers in this race. We're glad you're here, as we are here for the biggest, most thickest Bristol race around. 25 laps, 40 drivers, who's going to win? We're going to find out right now. Let's bring the noise as they are green flag here as they're going to turn number 1 here at Bristol. Down the back straightaway, Ross Chastain gets nose out front, and Corey LaJoie moves into 2nd. Ross Chastain leads lap 1. Look how wide this track is. 4 wide, 5 wide, easy. Corey LaJoie to the lead for a 2nd, and John Hunter Nemechek is going to go by, but I think Chris Buescher grabbed the lead at that point. And that's just for a 2nd, because here comes Zane Smith down to the inside. So this definitely does feel like old Bristol, where being on the inside is the way to go, but as we're on board with Ty Gibbs here, there's nowhere to go. You want to get down to the inside because that's where you get the momentum, but there's just so many cars around Ty Gibbs at the moment. Riley Herbst just in front here is now the battle as Ross Chastain gets back out in front. Noah Gragson is right underneath. Then we got Christopher Bell in the Sport Clips car. He is in 4th for the moment, with a couple of Fords behind them, Austin Cindric and Josh Berry. Bell looking to the inside of Gragson here, but here comes Cindric down to the inside. Cindric won already this year at Talladega, and Eric Jones is going to go underneath Austin Cindric now, with only 19 laps to go. Eric Jones now has a car length lead as Josh Berry is now looking underneath Eric Jones. How about some 4 wide behind as Byron Buescher, Cody Ware, and Noah Gragson were side by side. And here comes William Byron with a huge run through turns 1 and 2. He's going to pass at least 4 cars, and he's going to make his way up into the top 5 in the lead. Austin Dillon to the inside of William Byron now, 17 laps to go. Cole Custer is running right behind them, as look at these 3. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, and Daniel Suarez. Remember those 3 were side by side at Atlanta in 2024? And how about Kyle Busch is now in front of Blaney and Suarez. Back to the lead. Larson had it for a minute. Now Carson Hocevar moves to the inside. Ride the Dente as Carson Hocevar moves his way up to the front. Shane Van Gisbergen is moving now into second. Riding on board here with Carson Hocevar as Shane Van Gisbergen and Cole Custer are right behind him, as Bell is going to go to the inside here. On board with Cody Ware as Keselowski and Bell are going to take Carson Hocevar 3 wide through turn number 1. As we look a little bit here, as Keselowski has now moved to the inside of Carson Hocevar. There is no clear winner so far, as Logano is side by side with Cody Ware and Brad Keselowski, as here comes William Byron. It's an absolute carousel here, as there is no clear favorite in this race. As they come down the front straightaway here, 13 laps to go, as they all zoom by here, and he can go at least 10 wide here, if not more, as Chris Buescher makes his way back up to the front. Cody Ware is not letting go as Joey Logano swings way up high, as we have 5 wide in front of Joey Logano, and he loses at least 4 spots right in that turn. Cody Ware is not letting go though, as Kyle Larson is now going underneath Cody Ware. How about Kyle Busch? The Kyle and Kyle show, side by side down the back straightaway here, with 11.5 or 10.5, now 10 laps to go. McDowell, rocking that rock paint scheme, is now going to the inside of Kyle Busch. But how about Zane Smith? 2 for 1. Zane Smith now goes into the lead with Austin Dillon, Shane Van Gisbergen, and we got problems. Problems here in turn number 3. We got Justin Haley, Noah Gragson, Cole Custer, Bubba Wallace, and more. Ryan Blaney, number 6 point man. He's going to lose quite a bit of spots here in this race, and he's probably going to fall out. A couple other drivers include Brad Keselowski, plenty of front end damage to that car. Justin Haley also has quite a bit of damage. We saw Ty Gibbs down pit road. And William Byron, number 5 point man. Lots of damage. I think William Byron will keep going in this race, but he's going to have a lot of repair work, and he's going to need a lot of luck if he has any chance to win this race. So, as the pace car picks up the field here, we're going to go ahead and take a couple of replays here. We're going to take a look at a couple of replays to see what happened here on the back straightaway of NR2003 short number 47. So in this first replay here, we have Justin Haley way too close to the back bumper of Daniel Suarez, and so Haley spins Suarez out, and he gets into Ryan Blaney, and as Blaney goes up the track, he gets into Chastain, who gets into Custer, who gets into Gragson, who gets into Haley. And there's just nowhere to go for either Ryan Preece or William Byron. And then a couple of other cars hit hard behind, including both the Tys, Ty Dillon and Ty Gibbs. And then Bubba Wallace also had nowhere to go, in which I believe he got into both Ty Dillon and Ryan Blaney. And one thing I'm surprised about is that Daniel Suarez really did not get any damage at all. Because this track is so wide, there you see Suarez, he just spins out to the inside, and the cars were able to just get by him on the outside, that Suarez was able to get by pretty much free of any damage. Another shot here as Chastain goes with the track, and how about Brad Keselowski punting his teammate, and Preece almost goes up and over again. So with this slow-mo replay here, we have Suarez, Haley, and Blaney, and yeah, look how far down Suarez is able to get. And Ryan Blaney, he tries to save it, tries to correct it, but then he goes up and hits quite a few cars, and it looks like Logano got a little bit of damage. And so Blaney, as we saw on the right side of the screen, got into Ty Gibbs and into Ty Dillon. And then also outside of the shot, Bubba Wallace gets into both Ty Dillon and Ryan Blaney. And so a lot of big name drivers, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, are both out of this race, it looks like. And yeah, and it's going to take out a lot of good names here. Running on board here with Bubba Wallace, as you see the action happen in front of him, and right into Ty Dillon and right into Ryan Blaney. And so that is exactly what happened, and it looks like they are going to be out of the race. They do all have some amount of damage. So as we reset here, Zane Smith is your leader, followed by Austin Dillon, Michael McDowell, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Kyle Busch are your top 5, and we are only going to have 3 laps to decide the winner. Could Kyle Larson from 6th get the win? Could Carson Hocevar from 7th? Or Stenhouse, or the point leader Christopher Bell, or Cody Ware? Either way, here we go. 3 laps to go here at THICC Bristol. Austin Dillon was able to get a good run through 1 and 2, and he goes to the inside of Zane Smith, and they're going to be side by side. 2.5, now 2 laps to go, and here comes Michael McDowell to the inside. Make Michael McDowell in 2nd. How about for the lead? And how about this push from Kyle Busch to Shane Van Gisbergen through turn number 3? And here comes SVG down to the inside of Michael McDowell. 1 lap to go here at THICC Bristol. Shane goes up the track, and here comes Kyle Busch. And down the back straightaway, Kyle Busch, he makes the run. Here comes Hocevar, and here comes Stenhouse, 3 wide to the line. Kyle Busch gets the job done. For the first time since the middle of summer of 2023, Kyle Busch gets the victory. He beats out Shane Van Gisbergen, Carson Hocevar, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. What an immaculate victory for Kyle Busch. He has been on such a dry spell here, but Kyle Busch gets the job done. As Kyle Busch goes through post-race tech, let's look at the final results here at NR2003 Short47, THICC Bristol. So Busch wins, then it's Hocevar, Stenhouse, SVG with a top 5 here at Bristol, and Austin Dillon. And then as you look at the rest of the top 10, shout out to Zane Smith and shout out to Cody Ware, finishing 9th in this race. Looking at the next batch here, Todd Gilliland finishes 11th. Chris Buescher was able to get away with 12th. Point leader Christopher Bell finishes 14th. Truex 17th. And Chase Elliott, really didn't talk about him all day, finished in 19th. As we look at the next batch here, Jim Jam finished 23rd. Denny Hamlin, didn't really talk much about him either, who finished 21st. Heim 25th. Chase Briscoe was not really able to make any moves forward, finished 26th. And then the damaged cars of Logano and Suarez finished 29th and 30th, respectively. And then the end of the race here, Gregson and Custer, who each got quite a bit of damage in that wreck, finished 31st and 32nd, but on the lead lap. William Byron was the only car that is still in the race, but not on the lead lap, 2 laps down. And then, as we mentioned before, Haley, Keselowski, Blaney, Dillon, Gibbs, Priest, and Bubba Wallace are all out of the race. So that'll do it here as Kyle Busch burns it down here. He has passed post-race inspection, and he is officially the winner of NR2003 Short47, THICC Bristol. So before we leave here, just want to give one more shout out once again to Hendrick 9fan for painting all of these cars. They are all downloaded, or you can download them all on the Sonata Racing website. And then you can also download THICC Bristol here, created by BG03 over on Reddit. So with that all being said, thank you guys so much for watching these videos, and this is Griff Dog saying so long, until next time.